Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Give me a moment. What's today's date? The 14th? Yes. Okay. Trying to make us go live and not seeing why it's not working. So I will give up. Here we go. We'll figure that out later. Okay. If you are new to unit, I can't seem to wait. Oh, wait. So can I ask other folks to help anybody who's having tech trouble in the chat box? You can put a chat in there and we will help you figure it out if we can, including myself, who right now has done this every Sunday and it decided not to work this week. So trying one more thing. Sorry. Okay, we are not going to go live this week. Okay, that's okay. All right, we'll figure it out later. Okay, good. If you are new to Unitarian Universalism, we are a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. We are guided by 7 principles and 6 sources that encompass the many ways we come to know and understand the world and the divine. We are happy to have you with us. At UU Catskills, we live into our values by affirming that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming congregation for members of the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are active voices in the effort to address climate change. Thank you for joining us this morning for online worship. As we've been doing for, wow, a lot of weeks now, I encourage you to stay muted. That way things get a little crazy or not so crazy. If you're not familiar yet, you can toggle between speaker view and gallery view. Today we will have a few guest speakers, so you might want to stay on speaker view to see everyone in a slightly bigger view. We also have a chat box. I would like to encourage people to keep their chat to a minimum and on topic. Sometimes I review the chat afterwards and I see all kinds of things going on during when we're supposed to be having kind of a sacred time. So just want to encourage us to use the chat only when needed. This is the time when Henry would usually remind everyone to find a candle or a chalice or something they'd like to use for our chalice lighting. So if you want to do that now, you can do that. As I've said, and I want to just make clear, our music and videos today are all used with permission from the creators or the UUA. Today is an important Sunday. It is annual meeting Sunday. So after services, everyone is welcome to stick around, but only members will be voting. We will be covering the business portion of running a democratic religious organization. And it's a wonderful thing to witness. And it's even better when you're a member because you actually have a say in how things function here at UU Catskills. So we will do that right after services. So a couple announcements this week. We will do lunch on Tuesday with Tom Hackett, if you want to come around. And Brood Awakenings on Thursday will be hosted by Karma Haas. The reason we are tagging, Karma doesn't remember that I wrote her that. Uh-oh. You got it, Karma. It's okay. The reason we are having co-hosts this week and next is for the next, starting on, actually it starts tomorrow for about 2 straight weeks. I will be doing my annual professional development as part of the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association. We have Ministry Days, which is a series of worship and trainings and our own democratic meetings and voting and all that good stuff. And that will happen during this week and a little into next week. And then General Assembly for the UUA happens the following week. And I'm happy to, well, we have to talk about that at the annual meeting. So I will have limited I will be doing limited work for UU Catskills, because if this wasn't a pandemic, I would actually be in Rhode Island starting on Wednesday. But I'm not, but I'm still trying to immerse myself in my time with my colleagues, even if it is on Zoom. So thank you for remembering and respecting that. I encourage you to visit our website and our Facebook page for information of what's going on over the next week or month or so. And if you are new and would like to get emails, please put your email address in the chat box, and we will be sure to add you to our email list. And I wanted to just give an update for about our member Regina Packard. There was some confusion. I was not going to visit her in Albany on Saturday. Sandy was going, so you could ask her in person, but I did have a conversation with her on Friday, and she sounded great. Now, her surgery was a success, and she already sounds in good spirits, and was making Regina jokes, and I knew right away she was just fine, because her sense of humor was still in classic Regina style. So if you want to check in with her, the latest update has the phone number for her room, or you can reach out to Lori, who has that, or the caring team, or Sandy, who can give you a more detailed update. Okay, I think those are our announcements. Okay, let us take a deep breath, enter into this time apart from time. And I am going to unmute Catherine while she plays some Forêt for us. Thank you, Catherine. That was just beautiful. Our opening words this morning. Our opening words this morning are from Alice Berry. Children of the earth and sky, we are nurtured, sustained, given warmth and light from above and below. Supported by earth's strong, firm crust, we build our homes, till the fields, plant our gardens and orchards. When we turn from self and seek to be more aware, we will find holy light in human faces, in blossom, birdsong, and sky. Then earth is truly our home, and we are one with all Earth's creatures, parents of Earth's children yet to be. Come, let us worship together. And we will begin, as we always do, with our unison affirmation. I will project our slideshow. Oh, I forgot to show you our order of service. It's roughly what we have in store for you. Today is a special day. It's Flower Communion Day. We'll hear more about that in a moment. Let us all together share the words of our unison affirmation. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. And now the symbol of our liberal religious faith is the flaming chalice. And we light it each time we gather together to light this flame or the fire of our commitment with one another. I will light my chalice here at home. I encourage you all to write your own. And if you're so inclined, you can type into the chat box where you are lighting your chalice. And we could say our words together. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community. Even in the darkest of times, may its flame light paths to courage, justice, and hope. And let's see where we are. All right, we've got some where we're writing them in. Yes, yes, good. Okay, as we enter that, Catherine and I had a email chat about services, and they were going to try a couple of hymns that we either haven't done in a long time or that are just really quite lovely and just not done enough. So our first hymn together is hymn number 163, if you happen to have a hymnal around, and it's called For the Earth Forever Turning. And thank you to Catherine for recording this for us. And I encourage you to sing. Thank you, Catherine and Ella. I think that's such a beautiful piece of music. It's lovely, lovely. So today we celebrate Flower Communion. And some of you are wondering, what is this about? So I'm going to give a little history and then a slideshow. And then the children of UU Catskills are going to help me out here. The Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion service, which we are celebrating today, was originated in 1923 by Dr. Norbert Čapek, founder of the modern Unitarian movement in the Czech Republic. Well, then it was Czechoslovakia, so I can say that. On the last Sunday before the summer recess of the Unitarian Church in Prague, all the children and adults participated in this colorful ritual, which gives concrete expression to the humanity-affirming principles of our liberal faith. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every human being to be, as Nazi courts records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Čapek was sent to Dachau, where he was killed the next year during a Nazi medical experiment. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through his Flower Communion, which is widely celebrated today. It is a noble and meaning-filled ritual we're about to recreate in our own special way this year. Are you all seeing flowers now? I want to make sure I have the right slideshow up. Okay, thank you. Too much stuff. And now for our Flower Communion celebration, we will have the children share. I've got to find people though. This is trickier than I thought. There we go. Erin and Amel, please start.
So we've been talking a lot about this since in religious exploration, we've been talking about Mrs. Rumphius and her planting of flowers. So Amel has some thoughts on this that she wants to share.
Mommy found me a flower from the table.
So do you want to tell me the questions that you've been asking?
So to make the room more beautiful, it's for dancing.
And what else? What else did you say? What are other ways that you make the world more beautiful
Um,
that we talked about with Jane and Leonisa?
For love.
Love, yeah. Okay. So we use flowers in our ceremony this morning to help us symbolize the love that is hidden deep inside us. Flowers are beautiful, and so are the feelings of love among people. I think next is Jane.
Their beauty cannot be measured, and neither can the feelings of people be measured. Their life is short, but new flowers will replace the flowers that die, and new love can come into our hearts.
This bud is for the new babies who have joined us this year. Last year, these babies did not exist. This year, they are here among us. Before they could lift a hand, they learned to smile. Before they could speak, they learned to love. If we help them keep this love in their hearts, they will pass it on to others many years in the future.
This flower represents the people living all over the world. Maybe we will never see them face to face or touch their hands, but we can still warm our hearts on their hearts because we know that their hopes are like our hopes. Their pain is like our pain, their love like our love.
These flowers were each shared by a different person and put together into our slideshow. They stand for all the people here today. These flowers, so lovely one day, will fade the next.
I'm finding Olivia. There we go.
Oh my gosh, you're on mute, sorry.
Go ahead, Olivia.
But the love among siblings, families, and friends will go on and on. We know one another. We know what is in each other's hearts. We have brought our flowers and our love to brighten our congregation and gladden our hearts.
Thank you all for sharing in this flower communion. I'm grateful for everyone who sent in flowers and helped us make this, and for the children for sharing their voices with us. I want to add another special feature that often happens at flower communion, or the final service of the regular church year, calendar years, is something called bridging in the Unitarian Universalist world. And wow, I'm having real tech difficulties today, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. So in a bridging ceremony is something that Unitarian Universalist congregations do to acknowledge the milestones of our members, and especially for our young people. And this year we have two seniors bridging from youth to young adulthood, Zach Howenstein and Rafaela Ardizzone Jennings. We wish them many blessings on their journey. And if you see them, wish them luck for college. Now, I invite us all to enter into a time for contemplation and compassion and prayer. Let's take a few deep breaths to turn our attention inward and to enter into a time where we can tap into what we're feeling, what emotions we're carrying, what burdens we might be carrying as well. Come fully present into this moment We'll start with a minute of silent meditation. Take a moment now to reflect on any sadnesses or disappointments you are feeling. Honor yourself and your feelings. And as you call these to mind, I invite you to lay down the burden of your sadness, your feeling of not being enough, your worries and your concerns. Lay them down here with your community. Now take a moment to bring to mind a joy or blessing. Let those warm, joyful feelings fill your body and spirit. Breathe deeply and feel held by this, your Unitarian Universalist community. And finally, I invite you to speak the names of those whom you would like to surround with prayer and loving kindness. You can say them into the world, and hopefully the blessings will be carried to them. Spirit of life, hear all of these prayers, the sadness and the joy, the fear and the blessings, the worry and the wonder. Carry our prayers as we carry one another in community. Fill our hearts with the love Amel pointed out to us during our flower communion, and fill our hearts with support and the knowledge that we have one another to lean on. Give us strength for the work that lies ahead of us. Amen. Before we enter into our offering, I have a special video for us that I'd like to share.
Hey everybody, my name is Eli. I work in the education department at Clearwater, and I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to the UU Catskill congregation for all your support over the years, and especially in this month of June where you're going to be sharing your contributions with Clearwater. Thank you so much. I work in the education department at Clearwater. I'm guessing many of you know a little bit about Clearwater, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we, not as well as the programs on the sloop, we also offer programs on the shore of the Hudson River. And here I am at the Sopus Meadows Preserve, and you can see in the background here the beautiful Hudson River in all its glory. So thank you, UU Catskills, for all your donation and support, and be safe. Thank you.
So as Eli told us, this month we will be sharing our plate with the Clearwater, who does so much wonderful work and has deep connections to Unitarian Universalism. And I'll play some music while we thank you all for your generosity. And I noticed a comment about what a treat it was to be thanked by the Clearwater that way. And I do agree. And it was great to see a beautiful shot of the Hudson like that. So I'm grateful for Eli for sending that to me. Full disclosure, he is a friend of mine. So, and he was thrilled to hear that we were supporting Clearwater and their important work. Our reading today is entitled "The Web of Life written by the late Reverend Robert T. Weston. There is a living web that runs through us to all the universe, linking us each with each and through all life on to the distant stars. Each knows a little corner of the world and lives as if this were his all. We no more see the farther reaches of the threads than we see of the future, yet they're there. Touch but one thread, no matter which, the thoughtful eye may trace to distant lands. Its firm, continuing strand let loose its filaments as they reach out, but find at last it coming back to him from whom it led. We move as in a fog, aware of self, but only dimly conscious of the rest. As they are close to us in sight or feeling, new objects loom up for a time, fade in and out. Then sometimes we look on unawares, the fog lifts and there's the web in shimmering beauty. Reaching past all horizons, we catch our breath, stretch out our eager hands, and then in comes the fog again, and we go on, feeling a little foolish, doubting what we had seen. The hands were right, the web is real. Our folly is that we so soon forget. So I love flower communion. I love when it's done in person and we get to create a communal bouquet that, while highlighting our differences, our variety of beauty and gifts, shows also that we together can create one loving, colorful, fragrant, and beautiful community. Flower communion feels like a real me to we ritual. This year, I am grateful for the children's participation to help make our virtual bouquet even more special. I am grateful for all of you who have shared images of the beauty that surrounds you to remind us all of the beauty we can see, honor, respect, and create in the world. As we reflect on this ritual of unity, we must recall our Unitarian forebear, Dr. Chapek, and the torture he endured for being too dangerous, for having ideas that made fascist leadership uncomfortable. I am acutely aware that we are living in similar times where the fascist-leaning leadership of this country is threatened by voices of dissent, voices of revolutionary love, voices that call for a better world. Like Reverend Chapek and his followers in the then Czechoslovakia, we must never allow the forces of authoritarianism and fascism to become normal. We, as members of this liberal faith, as people of relative privilege, must use our voices and hearts and minds, obeying our better angels, to ensure the safety and well-being of all our earthly siblings. We are called on this Flower Communion Day to fight against forces of oppression, the systemic ills that create division and unnecessary suffering, the greedy acts of the 1% that create ripples of turmoil, the silencing of journalists and activists, the unjust work of elected officials who protect white men with guns on Capitol steps, calling them some good people, while at the same time ordering police forces and the military dressed in full battle gear to suppress the voices asking for justice and equality on our city streets. When our leader deliberately undoes laws that were meant to grant equal rights to people, we need to mourn and we need to take action. The inherent worth and dignity of our LGBTQ siblings, especially our trans siblings, must be honored and protected. The inherent worth and dignity of our Black siblings must be honored and protected. The inherent worth and dignity of our Latinx and Muslim and immigrant siblings must be honored and protected. The inherent worth and dignity of the children sitting in concentration camps at the United States border must be honored and protected. The inherent worth and dignity of our planet and all her magnificent manifestations of creation must be honored and protected. Let us not be sheep. Let us not be asleep. Let us not think someone else will take care of it. That kind of thinking has led to atrocities for centuries. We are, in fact, our siblings' keepers, and we are called to continue the work of Dr. Čapek and all who have fought against fascism and injustice throughout time. May we join them. May we work for the greater good. May it be so. Please join me in a hymn that's relatively new to me as well, but quite beautiful. Mother Earth, beloved garden.
Mother Earth, beloved garden, living treasure underfoot. All our days you ground our being, sage and thistle, grass and root. Herbs to heal us, plants to feed us, land to till and tend and plow. With appendage deep as midnight north, we ask you be here now. Father Earth, your inspiration holds together all that lives. As we breathe, our minds see clearly, leading us to love and give. Raging whirlwind, whispered breezes, violent gale and gentle cloud. With the blade as sharp as morning east, we ask you be here now. Brother fire, great transformer, share the passion of the sun. In our hearts your warmth revives us, cooks our food and heats our homes. Flaming candle, blood within us, blazing desert will to grow. With the one directing power south, we ask you be here now. Sister water, ever flowing, ocean, river, pond and rain. Drink we now and quench our thirsting, cleanse us, we begin again. Mist and ice, a host of changes, all that courage will allow. With the cup, the holy chalice, west, we ask you be here now. Lover, spirit, intuition, in the center of our souls. In your love we find relation, all connected we are whole. Timeless mystery, quiet conscience, deepest value, voice and sigh. With the drum and with the cauldron, this we ask you be our guide.
Thank you, Catherine and Ella, for our music today. Whew. There's work to be done, beloveds. And it starts with us remembering to live into our me to we, and to live into our covenant and the mission of UU Catskills. I hope that all members will stick around for the annual meeting. We will do our closing words, extinguish our chalice, benediction, and then we will take a short break, and Kristen will take over the feed to fill us in how the annual meeting will run. Again, I thank you all for being here today. I encourage you to reach out if you would like to be part of our efforts to disrupt the system and change the status quo. I encourage you also, if you have not done so already, to please complete the survey that I sent out as a Google form. I can add it to the chat box at some point so that we can do that. Our closing words come from the Reverend Wayne Aronson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard. The path is never clear and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. And our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of humanity, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Thank you all for being here today. It is wonderful to see you, even in our little boxes, like I say all the time. I miss you. I love you. I hope now we can find ways, even in small groups, we can see one another. Like I said, I will be sort of out of commission in the realm of Unitarian Universalism on a large scale. I encourage you to go to the UUA website and attend the free events that are happening. There are beautiful worship services. There are talks open to the public, and you get to be in a room virtually with thousands of other Unitarian Universalists. So don't go away. I have to find an email that I clearly must have missed about what we're doing next. So have a peaceful week. Stick around for annual meeting. And let me find out what's going on.